Facebook Live. You can follow us on Facebook Live. You also can follow us on YouTube at Motivation Station. All right. So we are live on YouTube. So those of you that's out there in YouTube land, appreciate you logging on. Feel free to comment, drop your feedback in the box. Feel free to share this video as well. And we'll put the link out after it's over. So everybody, we are good to go in about 3 minutes. So we'll get into our special guest tonight. We'll talk a little bit about what this show is about. And listen, again, remember, it's Voices Unbound. It's the place where every voice has its freedom. So we don't sugarcoat anything. We tell the truth. We speak truth to all situations and circumstances. So we are going to be talking a lot tonight. We'll be talking basketball. We'll be talking business. And we're certainly going to be talking ballots, meaning we're going to be talking some civic engagement. Certainly going to be talking about some things that might be of importance as it relates to our community, as it relates to local elections, state elections, and so forth. All right. So it's going to be a good show. So go ahead and share this live. Go ahead and like it, comment, do whatever you need to do. And we will be jumping on here shortly.
Hello, everyone. This is Lady Alethea McKnight from the Holy Cross of the Living Church. I'm on step 98.1, the gospel train. And I'm here at the station calling the word action going on. The gospel train is headed your way.
I now take you to Voices Unbound with LaShawn Jenkins, where every voice finds its freedom. Tune in again next Wednesday.
So what's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well out there. We are live in the studio for another episode of Voices Unbound. Listen, I hope you guys have had a great day. Hope you've had a good week, actually, so far. But listen, I'm super excited about tonight. Not only just excited about another episode, but just excited about who we have in the studio with us. So again, I know this is a very busy guy all over the place. So the fact that he has taken some time out of his very busy schedule to be with us tonight, I'm really excited about it. So listen, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. So again, feel free to drop comments. Feel free to share this live for those of you that will be tuning in with us. And so again, Voices Unbound, a place where every voice has its freedom. So we're going to jump right in. Tonight, I am extremely excited to have our special guest. No stranger to most of you that are in the 252 area or North Carolina, Virginia, even overseas. This guy's a global icon. So Mo Deloach is with us tonight. What's up, Mo?
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm
good. Good. So listen, so Mo Deloach is with us tonight. We're talking basketball, we're talking business, and we're definitely talking ballots. All right, we're talking civic engagement. And so again, Mo has been very instrumental in a lot of things, actually. And we'll get into unpacking some of that stuff in a little bit shortly. But we certainly want to make sure that we kind of do it justice. And so just a little bit about Mo. I'll let Mo kind of introduce himself and talk a little bit about where he is. But again, like most people know Mo for his talents on the basketball court. Mo was a standout basketball player at Northern Nash High School, went on and played his college career at Norfolk State University. One of the top scorers in the country during his junior and senior seasons. Played professionally overseas for about 10 years. I think 10 years. Was the first African-American player of color to sign a pro contract in Rome, Italy. Just did a lot of great things. Former league MVP in Slovakia, I think it was. Slovakia. Played in Slovakia, played in Rome, Italy. Just an incredible example of using your talent to prolong. Came back home and has started some businesses, not only locally, but also in the Wake County area. and is continuing to do things that we would hope that someone would do from the area, and that is to impact the community. And so we're going to dive right into all of that. So we're certainly talking basketball. We're certainly talking business. And we certainly will be talking about ballots. We're talking about civic engagement, particularly some of the late developments of things that have happened right here in Rocky Mount. So, all right. So, Mo, listen, we're going to get started, man. I appreciate you logging on. Appreciate you being in the studio tonight. Not really sure what you had to sacrifice to be here, but whatever it is, whether it was just time to clear your head, time to spend with your son, I'm appreciative that you're in the studio tonight. So
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I'm here, man. You know, it was a struggle to get here, but I'm here, man. I'm here. So
good.
That's what it's about.
I appreciate it. So, Mo, before we dive into it, so let me just talk about. Let me see. I don't have dates and stuff remembered because time has flown by. But let's talk about how I first met you. Like, do you remember how I first met you?
I think it was more like I probably reached out to you or something and asked about training and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that clearly it ain't important to him. But anyway, so you reached out to me, you sent me a text, and I had never even. I remember somebody did a camp in Tarboro. You were there, but you had sent me a text and said, "Hey, do you still train? Do you still work players out?" And honestly, when you sent me that text, I was not doing anything anymore with basketball. I was burnt out with basketball. I had coached basketball forever. I wasn't doing anything other than working out one of my former players who was also playing professionally at the time. So I was having some workouts with Jonte Sherrod from time to time. So actually, man, I tell people all the time, like, you kind of got me back into the new element of basketball training. And that was, I think that was, gosh, what year was that? 2016.
Yeah, it might have been.
It was 2015. 2015, 2016, man. And hey, we still at it. So, but anyway, so yeah, man, it's great. And so, of course, having the opportunity to kind of see you. Let's talk about how people don't really see all the hard work that goes on in private. For you at that time as a professional athlete, I mean, we know you were talented. We knew you were a good player. But talk about that private grind that people didn't know about.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult speaking on it now because all of the new era, everything is recorded. Like,
right.
People bring cameras to workouts. People bring a video man for Instagram posts and stuff like that. So it's totally different. But the work speaks for itself. So, I always big on, like, you work in the silent, and when the cameras come on, you be ready to show.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't the opposite for me. I wasn't always one of the cameraman in the gym and stuff like that. So it was me working on my craft, behind closed doors, when people don't see the sweat, the blood and tears and wanting to quit, and saying, missing shots and somebody getting on you, somebody yelling at you. Like, people don't see that. They only see when the cameras come on and how you perform, but not what you prepared yourself for, to get to this moment,
right.
To get to that moment.
That's good. And see, my angle was a little bit different. So I didn't start training you until you were already a professional.
Right.
And so really that was really hard because it's hard to get somebody from good to great because you already were really good. And so I remember the sacrifice of, I mean, you worked, all day, then you would drive to Tarboro almost every day, work out, drive back. And that was the cycle. That was the grind. And you're right. There was no cameraman in the gym. I mean, other than just what I did, but that was that silent grind, man. And I think it paid off for you. I mean, you definitely had some good. Talk about some of the highlights of your career playing overseas, particularly on the back end of your career.
It was just more like, when I got with you, it was more, me perfecting my shot, you helping me with my shot, me conditioning, me being a better professional, not even on the court, but also off the court too. So, it was just more about some of my highlights is just like, I would say Italy, man. When I went to Italy, it's like it took my game to the next level, as in like being known more. I was always thought I was good, always knew I was good, but it's just like, you're going to another country and adapting to them, and then they're saying the same thing. It's like, all right, bet it's real. You know what I'm saying? And it just all came from just hard work, man. I don't think when I was home, if I was home and not doing the work I was doing with you, I don't think I would have had a successful career. Because, a lot of people get lazy once they make it.
They
You
do.
know what I'm saying? I was big on being on time. I was big on, not missing a day. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, if I can lock in for an hour and 30 minutes, I got the rest of the day to myself, then why wouldn't I do it?
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people, they wait till something happened to start acting like a professional. And it was me. I always had in my head, like, I'm gonna remain a professional, on and off the court, and make sure I'm on time. I'm just still treating it like I was a college student. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, that's what kept me rooted and kept me grounded. It's like, I'm gonna stay humble and I'm gonna continue to act like I ain't made it yet.
And see, what you just said is really profound, because, I'm gonna be on time. Like, man, I'm just speaking for me. I am a stickler for time, because, truth of the matter, time is the only non-refundable thing you have in this world.
Right.
It's the only thing that people can't give you more of. And so you got an appointment at 5:00, whatever that appointment is. I understand, every now and then, hey, I'm a minute late. I'm at the stoplight. But I mean, there's people who think 5:00 means 6:00.
Right.
And so now that you are operating your own business, I mean, talk about how that discipline in basketball has carried over into the business world.
Yeah, I mean, being disciplined, in anything always takes you far. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with a lot of people today. They just don't have discipline. Like, and it works within business. You have to be disciplined and knowing that, I can't hang out late at night because I got to get up and go to work. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't do this or I can't do that because, I got to depend on myself to be able to do it. I don't want to keep paying everybody to do something I could just do myself. So he's just having that discipline there to be able to just lock in, man. A lot of people don't want to lock in. They wait too late to try to lock in, when it's already, difficult. You know what I'm saying? So why not lock in early? You know what I'm saying? When things could be way easier.
What's your thought about basketball now? I mean, you played at every level. Does the fire for the game ever go out? Do you still in your mind feel like, man, I can still go out there on the court and get somebody 30? Or have you transitioned into that fire has maybe kind of went out and now you recycle that fire into, maybe, I know you're coaching high school now.
Yeah.
So talk about, like, because a lot of professionals, when that pro career ends, a lot of professionals really struggle. And we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Because like it's such a big part of your life that when that thing is gone, you struggle to find something put in its place. But like, so talk, I guess what I'm asking is, talk about how you have transitioned out of that mindset of as being a professional athlete, and how have you recycled that into something different?
Well, I don't think I really, let it go. I let it go as in, like, I got older, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't, instead of running a 4.5, I'm running a 5.5, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it's what kept me grounded was, just always being around. Like, it's a lot of kids that's around here that I will always be around, look out, work out with them, or work them out. So they kind of kept the passion for the game, but not me wanting to play, because at the end of the day, my mind wanted me to do something my body can't do.
Right.
So I just, perhaps just chill. I don't really play as much. I don't play at all, for real. I might get out there, like I got out there with the team today, ran up and down the court a little bit. I could see flashes of me, still got it a little bit. I'm like, dang, I still can play a little bit, but it's just like running up and down the court, and I don't think I can go through it again. I don't think mentally, the mind frame I'm in, I don't see how I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing like how I used to get up at 6 a.m. to go run and go do this. It's like, dang, I really did all this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, now it's just like more of like, everything is business minded when it comes to me. Like, how I can make my business succeed, or how I can do this, how I can do that. Like, I don't really think about the sports part unless it's coaching. You know what I'm saying? So that's, and I try to keep my mind off of it, because, like I said, that was a major point in my life, being a ball player. And, I spent a lot of years playing. And then when I retired, I said this a couple weeks ago, I was on a podcast. I was just saying, like, I didn't know I was depressed until after the fact. So I was just, having fun, doing this, doing that. And I really didn't know what to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being that, I spent majority of my life playing basketball, and that was everybody knew me for that. Mm-hmm. So now some of the younger generation, they never knew that I played ball.
Right.
Like, I got some kids that I coach, or some younger kids, they don't know me from basketball. You know what I mean? So now when I seen a kid today, he was like, yo, bro, I didn't know that you played ball. And I was like, yeah. So, they know me as the entrepreneur. or oh, that's Mo to give back to the community, or that's
Right.
Mo that got the restaurant, or that's Mo that's this. They don't know me as, you know, the basketball player. And that's kind of a good thing, and that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of okay thing. But it's like everybody's my age or within a 5-6 year gap, you know, they still tie me into
Right.
being the basketball player. Like I be around town. I was got asked last week in Rocky Mount, like, yo, bro, you still play overseas? And I'm like, bro, look at me, bro. Like, look at me. Like I ain't the little kid anymore. But it's just like, you know, people still tie my name into me being gone and me being overseas playing and stuff like that. So I kind of love that, you know, because it's not a lot of people from this area that's doing it. I mean, it's a couple people that's doing it, but it's not a lot. Like you're in a bigger city, it's like, you know, every year somebody's going to play pro. So it's just
Right.
like it's different in this city.
Well, it doesn't seem like a big deal to, like you said, like there's kids who don't even know like Mo the basketball player.
Right.
They might know Mo the community guy who gives back. They might know Mo the guy who's at the gym and try to, you know, speak positive to us. But I'm gonna offer some pushback and say that is a problem, because one thing we don't do a good job of in our communities is we don't honor legacy very well.
Not right.
And so I mean, and I'm just gonna speak like, and this is just my example, and I'm not a Northern National alumni, and so, but here you are. We've talked about this before, so I mean, now I'm on the airways. I can say what I want. So here you are. You played college ball at Norfolk State. Incredible career, one of the top scorers in the country. You played professional ball for 10 years. Norfolk State thought so much of your career that they thought it not be robbery to induct you into their Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So you are in a Division I college Hall of Fame, and nowhere in your high school gym does it ever commemorate that you even played there. Now, again, let me just be the first to say I've been on Hall of Fame committees before. I helped start one at the high school I used to work at. I'm in my high school's Hall of Fame. But all I'm saying is kids should know you, whether it's, oh, I seen you in the trophy case at my school. Oh, there's a picture of you in the Hall of Fame. I mean, we got to do a better job of honoring legacy, you know, because not we're talking basketball, but think about all the people who have laid solid foundations in Eastern North Carolina, not even athletically, but just in the communities. Our kids don't know that. So, like, what are your thoughts about like legacy?
Yeah, I mean, it's true, because even when I was growing up, I mean, I didn't know too much about players, you know, that came before me. So we do a bad job when it comes to stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it is crazy that I got inducted to the Hall of Fame in college before high school. But I don't think anybody's there that was there when I was, you know, playing, which is sad. Like it should have been.
You think anybody's where?
At Northern.
Listen, Mo, if they were there or not, everybody at Northern National.
Yeah, they should know. Yeah,
they know. Every adult in that building knows the legacy of Mo Deloach. Even if they weren't there, if they live in Rocky Mount, they know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like, hey, I always said this about Northern and Rocky Mount. Like when it comes to Rocky Mount, seeing how I think they roll out the red carpet for their former players, and I don't think Northern does the same thing. Like it's a lot of players that should be honored there that didn't, you know, get their flowers as they should. I don't know why,
right?
You know, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You know, me being there coaching now, and it's still not like, you know, the flowers are not given. And me being there, you know what I'm saying? I'm there. I see, you know, a couple people, it's like they don't know. And then when they go back, it's like, you know, Coach Drake tries to put it in like, oh, he played this, he was a former player, but a lot of people like the AD or the principal, this like that, they don't know what I'm saying? They wasn't from Rocky Mount, so they wouldn't know. And then it's like, I mean, record books and stuff like that. I don't even think they kept up with it.
See, that's sad.
No, it's very sad.
It's sad because it goes to show that a lot of athletic programs, they operate in a place of survival mode.
Right.
It's just wash the uniforms, roll the balls out, we play a game. It ain't no stat keeping.
No.
And see, for me, I was very much a stat keeper because one, you know, like I was a history teacher, so I love history. So I love knowing people's history. So like I mean, well, of course I know your bio because I trained you, but like, I mean, I know stuff. Like I see people in the community, it's like, hey man, you were on that 83 team from Fight High School. Like I know stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's sad that people commit they part of their life to their schools and communities, and then it's just like, man, okay, I'm 40 now and don't nobody even know, you know. So I think that's something we need to work on. So and I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna just call it what it is. I mean, it boils down to leadership. It's what leaders prioritize. So I mean, most schools have an athletic director, most schools have a principal, and principals come and go. So it's a possibility that there might be a principal at Northern Ash who may not know the legacy of Mo Deloach. But that's where community comes into play, and that's where we need to speak up and advocate for people who should be honored. So shout out to that. I mean, I see that one person, I think there's like one person's name posted in Northern Nash. I think it's a young lady, Richardson, something like that. So I don't know who she is, but apparently she was a heck of a player. But I can only imagine the great players that have come through, not only Northern Nash, but some of these other Eastern North Carolina schools that
Rocky Mount, I can't front. Rocky Mount does a great job. Because Coach Gainey been there a long time.
Do they have a Hall of Fame that you know of?
I think they do.
Okay.
But they recognize their players all the time. Like once a year, they do
that's good
alumni. They come back. He let them walk on the court. And,
that's great.
So it's because
I've seen that happen. I know Gainey does. I mean, well, actually, I mean, I think that men and women's. Him and Coach Pam Gainey have done a good job of honoring the legacy.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. I can't front. That's one thing I always said about Rocky Mount. Like they let it be known who their athletes was, and Northern just not the same. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You spent 4 years at Northern?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this before we transition the conversation to business. What do you think about? I mean, what do you think about how kids kind of flip-flop a little bit now? You know, like, you know, it seems to be like almost like a unofficial high school portal. I mean, but like right here, when you were playing Northern National, and every year the Northern National Rocky Mount play, I see you and your friends kind of go back and forth and y'all joke, but like you never would have left Northern National and went to play at senior high. Like
you probably started that.
Who started?
TJ Walker. Yo, I'm dead serious. TJ Walker started it.
Wow.
He started it. TJ Walker was at Northern. I remember TJ Walker in Northern. And TJ Walker was like a good point guard, coming out. He was. And, that was the time I think Tayshaun was over at Rocky Mount. And TJ left Northern and went to Rocky Mount. It was like a big deal back then. I think I was in college or something like that. I was in college and everybody was talking about it, like, because TJ was supposed to be the next big thing. And it's like, oh, TJ's leaving. And it's like, yo, everybody was going in, like, for Northern, like, yo, you a traitor. You know how it be when it's like Northern and senior high.
Right.
But yeah, TJ Walker was the first person, in my knowledge, that did that. And then it just like went from there.
Okay.
But it was a big deal when he did it. Like, it was crazy. I remember being in school and it was like, yo, man, TJ Walker has just left Northern. And it was unheard of. Like, people wasn't doing it. Like, people wasn't leaving, going to the rival school. Like, I would never, like, they can offer me whatever. I'm not going to coach at Rocky Mount. It's just something, I can do it.
Right.
It's just because I'm Northern Nash forever.
So what does that say about, what does that say about, in your opinion, about just pride and like?
Well, it's different.
Taking a back seat a little bit.
Nah, it's different. It's different, now. But I think he was just trying to win. Like, he knew,
right? But I'm saying, like,
to win the championship. So I think now it's just more like social media play a bigger part, or kid get mad at the coach.
Right. So do you think that pride is gone?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like, I would. Under no circumstances would you have ever not worn. Well, we don't like not worn, but you would have never transferred from Northern Ash to go to senior high.
No,
I mean, because that's some pride attached to that, right?
It was just there's no way I could ever
Where
do that.
does pride in a program start? Like, how important? How much does the coach play in that building that program pride?
Well, it's just a legacy. People wanted back then. People wanted to play for Coach Gainey.
Okay.
People wanted to play for Coach Mosley. You know what I'm saying? It was just like you going to middle school, you look forward to playing for these coaches because they were just legacy coaches. They was at the program for a long time. I think the problem started when they started switching coaches. They got 1 year is this coach, next year is this coach, next year. So Drake been there for a while. So now it's starting to see now that it's saying like, okay, we want to go play for Coach Drake. Coach Gainey been at Rocky Mount for 40 years, 30, 40 years. So it's like kids at a younger age, like I'm going to play for Gainey. They started off going to the basketball games. They started off as a kid, you start off going to the basketball camps, then you start going to the basketball games, then you go to middle school, then you look forward to going to high school to be under this coach.
Right.
So I think Rocky Mount, the only school that kept the same coach. I think Tarboro got a new coach, Southwest got a new coach, Northern got, a new coach. Coaching staff is like, I don't know if any school around here got coaches that been there 30, 40 years. And I think that kind of hurt the legacy, as in like, we want to play for this coach. This is the coach we want to play for. You know what I'm saying? So
who did you play for at Northern?
I played for Mosley my first year. Mosley left, and then I ended up playing for Coach Ruffin.
Okay, gotcha.
But that also was a problem because imagine I'm thinking Mosley gonna be my coach. Mosley had a legacy at Northern forever. So I wanted to play for Mosley. Like it was just like, okay, I went to basketball camps. Mosley was like, he was like the Coach K of Northern. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to play for Coach Mosley.
Right.
And then, coming up, you just like, all right, Mosley's about to leave and go to another school. I didn't understand it. So he explained, hey, I got to go to another school. I got a big job, We didn't understand it. You think he's supposed to be there forever, but you don't know people are elevating in life. You ain't thinking about that when you're a kid. It's like, man, Coach Mosley don't rock with Northern. He's leaving. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I'm probably 100% sure if Mosley would have still been at Northern, the legacy of players, they would have retired jerseys. They would have, Hall of Fame this player, football, basketball, baseball. You know what I mean? They would have Hall of Fame it. Drake is pushing, but it's just not the legacy that Mosley had because Mosley was there coaching 30 years.
Right.
Drake's been there a while, but it's just different. He's building the legacy now because he's been there a long time. So maybe my son will come up and be like, okay, yeah, I want to play for Coach Drake. You know what I mean? So it's just the legacy. But now it's just like, all the older people, it's Mosley.
Right. Gotcha. So what kind of, last basketball question, how would you describe your continued relationship with your basketball coaches from high school? Is there a relationship still?
Not really. I mean, not me and Ruffin, we won't majority talk on like Facebook.
Okay.
So he hit me up if you see something, congratulations, but it's not more of like, a father-son thing. Most players look at their coaches like, that's their second father.
Right.
So I didn't have the relationship with him like that. I got the relationship with that with my college coach.
Right.
Coach Jones. I don't have a relationship with my high school coach like that. Me and Mosley speak a lot. We speak often. He sent me an email once or twice a week. Mm-hmm. And, he wasn't my high school coach my last couple of years. It was my first freshman and sophomore.
Right.
Then I think junior and senior became Ruffin. But I mean, it's just we just don't speak. But Ruffin done been through 3 or 4 jobs after Northern. So I mean, I think he's retired now. We keep up with each other on Facebook.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we don't have a relationship, or as I can call him, or if I lost my job today, I could call my college coach and he's gonna try to figure out, how to make it happen. That's the relationship we got.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I think all relationships with coaches and especially an athlete that you really take on to.
Right.
I think it's like your father. So I got a great relationship with my college coach like that, but not my high school. And that was one of my biggest things too. Now me coaching high school, I want to be able to like guys to hit me up, not only just for basketball advice, but life advice. Right. Something like you did. Like a lot of your players can call you now if they really needed help, as in if you could put them in a situation of work or something like that.
Right.
You're going to find them a job, or you're going to do this, or you're going to, try to make it work. I mean, the ones that that's serious and need it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I consider a coach. Right. Coach, I'm sure Gainey could do the same thing. I'm sure Mosley could do the same thing with some other players too. But I'm just saying, like, that's me it's more the life than just coaching them just that 1 year, 2
Yeah.
year, 3 year, 4 year. If you can't call your coach outside of this, I don't think they really rock with you. And ain't nobody that busy. A player that's supposed to be like a son to you, you just lose contact with them.
Right.
And
and now I wanted you to unpack that because I think coaching is, I always told people coaching is not just resume building, like it's a calling, and what you said like really matters, like because even right now, I mean, gosh, I lose track of age because I think when you've been a good coach, you always see your players as your players,
right?
And you forget like, oh, they're 30, but I mean, man, if I find like my former players, like I want to see their kids. Like, I mean, last weekend, like one of my former players in town, he was like, hey, I'm in town. I want, like they know, like, I want to see your kids. I want to see like what's going on. And so those relationships, man, you can't put a price tag on. But I think we put so much emphasis on winning, and which is important. But man, those things fade away. Those plaques, you don't even remember who you beat, I mean, you're gonna remember those county rival games, but people won't remember all those things. But those relationships, man, will matter for a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're gonna transition, talk a little bit about business, man. I remember when I was training you, one day after a workout, you were like, hey, look, man, I'm thinking about buying this property downtown Rocky Mount. So I want to show it to you. So of course, in my head, I'm like, okay, let's check it out. We walked into this abandoned building that, I'm gonna be honest, in my head, I felt like while we were walking through, the place was just going to collapse on us. So in my head, I was like, man, this is crazy. So I saw the restaurant when it was just nothing. It was just an old abandoned building. It didn't even look like it had no potential. And now, I mean, it's a nice, thriving, chill place. I love Mo and D's, man. I love to go there and just get work done. So talk to me about at what point of your career, as you were, I'm assuming you were thinking about retiring, but at what point of your career did you realize, like, I really want to move into this business, particularly in the area of like a restaurant?
Well, I didn't even really care about the restaurant aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? My goddad ran a club, so I was kind of always into like nightlife or running businesses or stuff like that. So it was just like me being overseas, I had nothing but time to think. So I was preparing for retirement my second, third year in. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm gonna get to 10 years, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to make some money. So I'm like, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do, once the season, once the basketball stops bouncing. So I jumped in. My third year, fourth year in, I was already owning the business. And my people was like, yo, bro, how you doing that? I was like, yo, I'm planning for the future, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got friends that I played with overseas, they ain't got nothing going on. And when I was telling them, they was like, yo, bro, you crazy. So they was going to buy Gucci, do this. I mean, I was blowing money too, but it was like, nah, I got to start a business. And it's cheaper where I'm from, right? Rocky Mount. So where they was at, like, I have teammates from New York, Houston, Philly, like they couldn't get a business for the price we was getting business for down here. So it was like really a steal. So it's like, yo, you gotta do something. I'm thinking in my head, like, I gotta do something. Like, what if I get hurt? You know what I'm saying? What if something goes left? Like, I gotta be prepared to be able to move into something just in case the ball stopped bouncing.
Right.
And it worked in my favor. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that went when it came to business. Like it was just me being overseas. And then, I got involved with my pops and my uncle. It was just more of them like, yo, nephew, let's go, son, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. We got your back. Wow. So it was like once they, gave me the okay, then all right, let's go, let's do it. You know what I mean? So it was like, no, none of us was nothing about a restaurant. I knew how to run a bar. I knew how to draw people and throw parties. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna use my popularity. I mean, shoot, we'll see how the food go. My family know how to cook, so we can go from there. You can't really mess up on chicken wings and hot dogs, and you know what I mean. So I didn't want to go into one that's doing lamb chops and all that. I'm like, we can, my family, we all at the cookouts, the food be banging. So shoot, you can't mess up on no hot dogs, no chicken wings and fish and stuff like that. As long as you season it. So that's how that went. Like it wasn't like I came from a family that everybody knew something about a restaurant. That was our first venture with everything. Like we didn't know nothing. I knew how to and get people in there, and we have a ball. I knew how to do that.
So how many years has Mo and D's been in business?
9.
And did you ever expect it to be sustainable? Not that you went in with a mindset that it wouldn't work, but did you?
Nah, I didn't know about a restaurant. So I was reading that most restaurants fail. You know, most restaurants fail in a couple of years. So I didn't know, but it was just like more like, I got to try it. Yeah, I got to try it. And like, one thing I can do is, if all else fails, I mean, I know I can get people to come out with, you know, to hang out with me.
Right.
So that's how that went. So it's just more like, I mean, people gonna buy food, they out. So now it's to the point that, you know, it's a routine now downtown, people coming to Mo and D's. And it's still not where it should be, because we still 5-6 years behind, being that we don't have a downtown that's developed like it should be. So, you know, that was another thing too. Like, that was the pushback. Like, you know, a city that don't really have a downtown, this downtown is trying to develop, and you still open, that's like a blessing.
So talk to me about the creativity that you've used so it's more than just like, okay, you can go to Mo and D's, sit down and order some hot dogs, cheesesteak, chicken wings. Like, talk about how you have used Mo and D's creatively in terms of like how other people use your space.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm allowing people to come in, you know, to do different things. And my thing is, it's just getting exposure. Like, these people are recording where they at. Like, I don't have a couple political things there. I don't have, you know, Ty Gurley them coming through there. I don't have a couple other pro athletes that's coming in, but it's just more like AAU is big. Like, when the event center is a blessing to downtown.
Right.
Like, event center is a blessing to small business downtown, because these people are coming out.
Right.
You know, you got 120 teams coming from all over the world, and everybody can't eat at the event center. So what they're doing is they're getting on Google, they're getting on all these places, looking up what's near, and then boom, I got a TikTok that came up. I got a Google that came up. So they're coming deep. So what this is, I get people that's, since the event center been open, I've been getting people that's coming to check out my restaurant that first came for one time, and they've been coming 7 years straight every time they in town. They're like, all right, bet we going to Mo and D's. This is a spot, because they do it. And I get a message every single time, especially when it comes to basketball. I don't never tell them I play ball. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, hey, I'm on this business, blah, blah, blah. Now they walk to the back, they see me, then I say something to them. But other than that, they always hit me up on Facebook or something like, yo, bro, we didn't know you played ball, the history of you was a good player, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah. So that just fuels it too. Next time I talk to the players, like, da, 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 da. So it's always just a networking thing when it comes to that.
So is there a reason why you don't always share that you were a basketball player?
Because I don't want a person to, like, first of all, a lot of people think you brag when you, like, you know, kind of, oh, I did this, I did that. So I don't really like to brag a lot. And then also, like, I want a person to, like, know me for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Know me for me. Everybody in Rocky Mountain knows me for me being, you know, pretty successful and stuff like that. So when you go other places, you know, I don't like to say that, because I want to know, like, all right, am I really a good person, or am I, you know, do people really like me and stuff like that? So that's why that's how I kind of like don't really get to talking. And then, you know, it always turns into somebody looks your name up, Google your name, and then the whole attitude switch when it comes to things. So I just want to know, like, I just always wanted to be like, yo, are they really showing favoritism because of who I am, or am I really good at what I'm doing?
So to the people who are listening who don't even know your real name, what's your real name?
My real name is Michael Deloach. my nickname is Mo Deloach. Mo comes from my brother. My oldest brother is Mo, and I was always with him all the time. So you got people in my neighborhood that calls me Little Mo, and he's Big Mo. So, you know, when you got a bigger brother, you're always with your bigger brother. They're like, that's Mo, that's Big Mo, that's Little Mo. And it just stuck with me. You know, people, like, I go around my neighborhood right now, like, old heads, it's like, yo, what's up, Little Mo? Little Mo, what's up, Little Mo? Yeah. So they just look at me like I'm still Little Mo, you know, that's running around, the big-headed kid that's running around, you know, in the South, just trying to play ball and just running around doing stuff. So that's how that situation went. It was just like one of the things that people that's not from my neighborhood, they just heard everybody calling me Little Mo, and then they're just like, oh, Mo, they're stuck with me.
So what you're talking about is good, because, and I mean, you probably remember us having this conversation.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, like, there's Mo and then there's Michael, you know, and there's a difference, and people need to know know both.
Yeah.
Well, listen, man. So we talk business, we talk basketball business. Let's talk about civic engagement now. Let's talk about some. We're gonna talk a little bit about civic engagement. And when I say civic engagement, I mean obviously like you have a community voice that people listen to. You have a platform that people trust. And people don't trust you because you are a good basketball player. People trust you because I've seen this. I've seen you let people drop their kids off to you in the summer and you try to work with them and teach them discipline. I've seen you feed people who didn't have it. I've seen you sponsor book bag drives. I've seen you do basketball camps for hundreds of kids who otherwise would not have had a chance to go to a basketball camp. So, I mean, it's called servant leadership is what it is. And so because of that, and we know for a fact that now that you don't have a degree in political science, but you do have some wisdom. And sometimes what we don't understand, and I have a degree in political science, but people think the political science is about, it is about knowing the science of politics. But man, a lot of the lived experiences that people live through is common sense.
Right. So
I'm not going, so I don't even want to drive this conversation in a particular way because I feel like as a businessman, you have to navigate certain spaces and you have to navigate certain things. So what I'm going to say to you is talk to me about your thoughts about politics, local politics, and what we need to do to troubleshoot some of the issues that may rise or even some current issues that may be facing communities.
Well, let me start off by saying the importance of voting. Like, you know what I mean, it's very important to vote. And a lot of people that voice their opinion on stuff, especially in the younger generation, do not vote.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and it wasn't really a big thing, for us, younger people, Black people, to vote because we're just like, oh, the votes it don't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I have said that before, when I wasn't knowledgeable of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, they ain't gonna get our vote, man. They gonna do some janky stuff and blah, blah, blah. I didn't really care.
Right.
But like you said, just being a community leader, I'm not into the politic words, and I watch what I say and how I say it. But at the end of the day, I know people do listen to, things that I say. So I'm never really tell somebody to vote for this person, or I don't knock any politicians or how I feel about this city council member or this city council member or this mayor. I never express that because at the end of the day, they all represent the city. You know what I mean? So I don't want to put a negative. It's already a lot of negativity going on anyway. So I don't want to add to the negativity. So what I try to do is just like, look, go out and vote. Go out and do what you think is best. I ain't gonna tell you who to vote for. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna speak on this person. You should vote for him. That's you. That's your decision. But what I am gonna say is you need to do it.
Right. So you talk about the civic responsibility of voting, and that's just that we just need to vote. What about the responsibility for people who put their name on the ballot? Like, again, because as we're learning right now, you got to be more than just a good person.
Yeah.
You gotta have some capacity, right?
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. Let me start by saying this. Like, you know how many people have reached out? I have had fake pages. People have reached out to me and tell me that I'm running for a city council. Like, I'm like, yo, no, bro, are you running for mayor? No, that's not me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So let me start off by saying that I am not running for nothing. I will not ever be running for nothing because that's not my style. I support who I support and I'm behind who I'm behind. But it's just like you said, you got to be knowledgeable of what you're doing. Right. I don't want to get up there and just add, I don't know nothing about this or how to do this or how to do that. So I let a person that's good at it, that I support, do it. And that's the problem. I think people do it for clout for the wrong reasons instead of jumping behind the best candidate. You know what I mean? If I jump behind the best candidate and I'm saying, listen, this is what you're good at this. We all need to jump behind you instead of me just because I'm mad at this person, go try to run. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happens a lot. People be mad at something that didn't go their way and they just go try to run thinking they're going to get the power. At the end of the day, like, people can have the power, but I mean, if you're doing what you're doing, that ain't going to hurt nothing. Like, I don't care about who, I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't care about who's on the city council, who's that. People in Rocky Mount going to rock with me because it's me. You know what I mean? What I have done, I have really been outside. I have really did this. So I can care less of that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to downplay them. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying, this and say that. But people rock with me because it's me. It's like people know that I'm not fake. A lot of politicians are fake. You know what I mean? And I guess they got to be or something like that. But this is like, well, not me. I ain't going to be fake. I ain't going to lie to nobody. I ain't going to do that.
I'm going to tell you, they don't have to be, but sometimes they are. I have not held any, well, actually, that's not true. I was a Democratic Party chair for 2 years. And in that 2 years, it was an election year. I got a chance to rub elbows and talk with a lot of politicians, people on the ballot. So they knew, like, and people know, like, Edgecombe is a pretty heavy Democratic area.
Yeah.
So people know, like, if you want to get on the ballot, if you want to win, you got to go through Edgecombe. That's just a proven matter. So, I mean, you name it, state senator candidates, U.S. Senate candidates. I mean, I've talked to a lot of them. And what I found that I see why people are so easily swayed, because it's easy to be swayed.
Yeah.
It's easy to be bought. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to, so, and for me, and I'm not saying I don't know how anybody else operate, but for me, like when candidates came, it was like, look, like, here's 200 signs, put them out. I'm saying, like, nah, that ain't how it works. Like, you go to the communities and hand them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get to just show up in communities every 2 years, every 4 years when it's time to get a vote. And we got plenty of politicians who do that. People don't even know who they are.
Right.
Make a few empty promises, maybe pass out a few fruit baskets or a few, book bags and maybe even a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? Line people's pockets. And now these people will go out and do these things for you. But I mean, so we just lift it up because, man, like you said, it's a popularity contest.
Right.
Like, and I'm not just, I love politics, man. But again, and it's not because I know it all, but man, that's what I got a degree in history and political science. So like, I know politics. I know local politics. I know national politics. And it's sad because I've seen people run for commissioner positions and council positions, people who barely even understand how their local like municipalities work, but people will vote for anybody.
Yeah.
And so when things go left, you can't be mad because you put somebody in that position who never understood politics. It was a nice picture, nice photo op, but they never knew the game.
It's popularity.
It is.
It's popularity, and the most popular person is going to win. It's not right.
Right.
It's not. It's definitely not right. But I think a lot of people, not even just here, but it's just a lot of them just run for clout.
We vote for politicians like we vote for homecoming in school.
Facts.
Like you supposed to vote. I mean, let's just keep it homecoming. You vote for the prettiest person. You automatically can guess who gonna win homecoming.
Yeah.
But man, that's how we vote for politicians. We vote based on where they live, what kind of job they have. It ain't even about what they say they can do. Yeah. And it's unfortunate. So I'm gonna lift this up because I'm not gonna skate around it because I know that I watched a little bit of your live. And you kept talking about this economic crunch that the city of Rocky Mount is in. Mm-hmm. But you specifically talked about how this is going to impact our kids.
Yeah.
I never heard you say how it was going to impact your business. I never heard you say how is this going to impact like churches. I heard you speak from your heart, just saying like, look, what about these programs that our kids need? Like, can you talk a little bit about, you can talk about how you want to, but talk about like where that came from and why you're so adamant about making sure our programs don't get cut for kids.
Yeah, because I was once those kids. I was in those shoes. So that's why it means it's very important to me because I'm down there with the kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the programs with the kids and I know how effective it is with them, or, like we took them to colleges, like a college. To a college basketball game or, let them walk on a college campus and stuff like that. Like just to see the joy on their face is like, okay, they really enjoying this. You know what I'm saying? Some of these kids never or would have never experienced going to a college without those programs we had, touring college programs.
Right.
You know, I sit and talk to the kids all the time, like about, you know, just peer pressure and stuff like that in the programs that we have. You know what I mean? So it's just like I know the effect on the programs and how important the programs are. And like I said, I wasn't, you know, I didn't really care about the cut of staffing or the money situation, this and that. I'm just like, yo, we got to make sure these programs are still happening for these kids because we don't have enough for them. You know what I mean? We don't have enough. So with that situation, I don't know who dropped the ball. Like now it's like it's not 30 million, it's $100 and something million. And the ex-city manager was doing this. Like they had a meeting yesterday. There was, I think, Andre Rubin and somebody else, Richard Joyner was discussing everything, and they was discussing how the other city manager wasn't even qualified for the job. And I'm like, well, how did he get it?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, how did he get it? You know, if he wasn't qualified, and I know it's a majority rules, but at the end of the day, I think they're all supposed to be on the same page on if this guy ain't qualified. It's just like, as I put things in basketball terms, I'm not recruiting a guy to play point guard and never played point guard.
Right.
If he played the 2 or the 3 in high school, I'm not going to potentially recruit him to be a 1 in college and then think he's going to just walk in his freshman year and know how to do it.
Right.
It's not going to happen like that. It's impossible. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying with that situation. If a person ain't qualified for these type of jobs, they shouldn't be getting it because now, old buddy long gone. He gone. He ain't in the city no more. He gone. We the ones got to deal with the consequences of what he did. You know what I mean? And I'm just going by what they said. You know, what I don't know if that's true or not. I guess when the what is it, the audit or something comes out,
right.
I guess the truth will come out. But from what it looked like, we had a person in the seat that didn't know what they was doing and overspent and gave people money that we really didn't have. And I think they was giving fake numbers to the council when they add, which I don't know how true that is, but from what I was told that they didn't know. And I think I don't know.
Let me tell you what I do know. Nothing is done in isolation in local politics or state politics. The governor, like right now, the governor cannot just say of North Carolina, and the mayor can't. The governor can't just say, you know what, LaShawn, I'm just gonna write a check for $1 million just for your school.
Right.
Like that whole process has to go through the General Assembly. Like, so it's hard to do politics in isolation.
Right.
So what I'm here, but how you can do it is if all these things happen and people are like, we didn't know about it, then that speaks to your professionalism. Because as a council, as a city council, or as a governing body that's governing over the people in a city, town, municipality, whatever, there should be some collective agreements and some collective understandings that even though we might share different opinions, we might even share different party affiliations, but since we are the governing body of a town or city, we should always be on the same page. So there's no such thing as I didn't know or I didn't know, because if so, that means that then were you really on the council for the group of, I mean, for the sake of most people, or was it just like I'm just up there doing my thing? I'm just hearing a lot of people just throwing people under the bus just to protect their name and sake. And I'm gonna be honest, like that ain't how collective politicians should be operating when you are over an entire city.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is the ball was dropped.
Yeah.
However we look at it,
by a lot of people.
Yeah, it was definitely dropped by a lot of people. It was dropped. So I'm guessing now they're just trying to figure out how they're gonna fix it. You know what I mean? They got to fix it. And it's not gonna be something that you can fix in a year. We're gonna be done for 3-4 years.
So the second concern is when you talk about budget, you don't create a strategic budget. I mean, you can create a strategic plan for 3 to 5 years. I'm assuming a city as big as Rocky Mount don't do a year-to-year budget. I'm pretty sure that there is some forward planning, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
To make sure that we're not forecasting more money than we're bringing in, or to make sure that we're not planning to spend more money than we have.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking that every so often, this is just me thinking, I've never been on the city council, but I'm thinking that every so often we visit those line items to make sure, we're underspending. We've got a surplus here.
Yeah.
Or you know what? We're overspending. So how can we allocate funds from here to here? I thought that you always, on a regular basis, check your spending, that you audit your budgets. So it's no way possible that we wake up one day and people are, oh, we short $100 million.
Yeah, and then it didn't help. I don't think they said they didn't have like a financial person for like the last couple of years. Like, oh, they had one and the person wasn't qualified. Something I can't speak on what I don't know, but I did hear that they said like they didn't have like a what you call it, a financial person to look over the numbers. They didn't have one.
Okay.
So that's a main problem.
So that wasn't a priority?
That should have been a priority.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know why, or maybe if the person they had wasn't qualified, or I don't know, but I don't know. I didn't get it either, but you know, I guess they was trying to find one, and the one that they had, the ex-city manager hired, and he or she wasn't qualified or something. I don't know what it really, all the details of, because I didn't pay attention to it. But what I do know is they did say they didn't have one.
I'm gonna use this example. I'm a principal. We have a budget, and we have several like little mini pots of money. Every time a dollar is spent, my bookkeeper, my finance person always says, okay, Mr. Jenkins, what budget code are we using?
Yeah.
And we monitored those budgets almost weekly. Because I'm like, you know what? I feel like we've been spending a little bit more out of this general account. Let me check this. Like, that's at a school level. I cannot imagine being a governing body over an entire city with a multi-million-dollar budget. And you telling me, for what we're hearing, in 2 years, we didn't think it was important to have somebody that was smart enough to manage the budget.
Yeah, because from what I was watching the video, they were saying like they were spending reserve money, but I think it was to the point it was like we got money coming in, but they was dishing out more. So when he came and did the police thing, then raised all the police thing, and then the fire people was beefing, and the sanitation people was beefing. That's when I think it kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes. Like, hold on, we gave these police this much money. Where is it coming from? You know what I mean? So now it started a beef, because if I'm a police officer and I've been working for 20 years, and then a police officer that ain't been working number 3 months come in and making the same amount of money I'm making, I'm pissed. Now I'm down. Now I'm trying to start to figure out what's going on. So that's throwing up the red flag right there. Like, how are you able to pay these new police officers when you got old police officers that been here forever?
Right.
Or you sending people that been working for the city, you sending them to another office space to be in a hole in the wall when they was doing a great job. So it's a lot of stuff, and it's just a lot of
it boils down to irresponsibility.
Yeah.
And just so people don't think, like we're judging people. But I remember when I started teaching, I was 21 years old, and this goes to show you how bad teachers are paid. My first year teacher salary as a first year teacher was $25,000.
Oh.
25. Now listen, on a 10-month pay scale.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you didn't have your salary spread over summer months. So if you do the math, that's $1,500 a month. Now, as a 21-year-old kid who grew up in the projects, never had much, man, when I got that check, $1,500, this is what I did. Let me buy something. Let me get some shoes. I'm gonna go out to eat. I hang out a little bit with my friends. And then probably 8 days later, I'm like, okay, now let me pay my bills.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for my mom bailing me out, there were so many times out of fiscal irresponsibility, I'm like, man, okay, bills paid, but I got 2 weeks before my next payday and I'm broke.
Yeah.
Like that was financial immaturity. Right? 21-year-old kid fresh out of college. Like, I completely own that, right? And I expect that from people who grew up in poverty and never had much and maybe didn't even have the financial literacy to make good decisions. But that does not happen with a city council or a governing body of educated, well, I'm assuming college educated people. And not only that, but there's some vets up there, right? There's some people who've been in the game for a minute. So I ain't, picking individuals. I live in Tarboro. I pay taxes in Edgecombe County. That's NASCAR, whatever. But all I'm saying is that balance piece is important. We got to start voting with purpose and not because of popularity.
And I think a lot of people now, like since it hit the internet, I think a lot of people like, I've been on the internet seeing it. I think a lot of people want to vote more now because they like, oh no, somebody stole the money. You know what I mean? So that's us. That's all. Now we us as black people, we turn into FBI. We trying to figure out where the money went. Like I seen posts of people, such and such and such did it. Oh, how is it here? This not understanding the truth or what it could have been. But now they turn into the FBI, Secret Service, secret agents. They trying to figure out what's going on because they like, nah, somebody got off. And I never seen nothing talked about this much since like a long time. This is being talked about. Like I'm in the barbershop, people talk about it. I'm in Moa D's, people talking about it. I'm in Riley, people talking about it. Like they are talking about it. So, and it's all because of social media. Now everybody is like, it's like one person posted it and then everybody talking about it. People making jokes, people doing this, but it's like trending. It's trending in Rocky Mount right now. It's probably going to be trending for the, a couple months.
Let me put you on the spot. Let's just pretend like you were a city councilman currently.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your advice for the city in terms of like, okay, the reality is it's a whole lot of money missing. Like, what would just be your advice in terms of like, okay, in terms of moving forward? Because I know, son, I'm asking you this because I know you love the city that you live in. You support it, you advocate it, you put on for record. It don't matter where you are, you're always giving credit and allegiance to your community. So like, what do you think a good starting place is just to say, okay, look, like, how do we recover from this? Because again, the programs that you're part of, the mentoring programs for after school youth and stuff, a lot of those programs might be suspended if they haven't already been suspended, because the first thing that we're going to cut, even though we say we love youth and we believe in our kids, the first thing we're going to cut are those extracurricular activities because we truly don't believe that they're important. But where's a good starting place for the city to just reconcile?
I dropped the ball.
Just admit it.
We dropped the ball. We didn't pay close attention to what we're supposed to, and it's our fault.
Right.
Then this is how we're gonna fix it.
Right.
I didn't agree with this person coming in or this person coming in, but at the end of the day, they're there, and us as being on the council, it's our fault. I mean, it's going to be our fault whether it's our fault or not. So first, I'm gonna just say that's with me. Wow. I'm gonna say, if it was personally me, I'm gonna say I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball because I should have paid more attention to it. That's what I'm going. I mean, that's just personally me. I don't know what they're gonna say, but personally me, that's what I would say. You know what I mean? And then I would just go from there. Like, okay, we got a new city manager, and he has that plan. We have a plan as a council to fix this.
Wow.
I know it looks bad. I know we're gonna have to raise some utilities and stuff like that, but we're gonna get through it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I dropped the ball. Like I should have personally been up on it more. You know what I'm saying? Right. Knowing what I was doing.
So you speaking about a word that is really powerful, but people don't really like that word. It's accountability.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like that word. It's easier for me to point the finger and blame you. It's easy for me just to say, well, look, I did what I was supposed to do. But man, accountability is important, especially collective accountability. It's not even to say this council. It's like, look, as a council,
we dropped the ball.
We dropped the ball.
Yeah, and
as a group, we can recover and we're gonna make it happen.
And that's the thing. Instead of like, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think they all know that they dropped the ball. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I've really been trying to understand it, but they'll get it. But I think from what I've watched, they have a plan to try to get it right. But it's just like to the point of people don't care about that. Like they don't care what's going to happen 2 years from now. Like this is from what
they want to know. Like right
they want to know right now. They want somebody to go to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? They like, nah, somebody got to go to jail. Somebody got to go to prison. They stole $100 million, not knowing. Right. I don't think somebody physically took $100 million. I just think it was overspent,
misappropriated.
Yeah, but in the Black community, they see something is short. The first thing we're gonna say is somebody stole it. That's our money, and somebody need to go to jail.
And I'm gonna tell you the truth. My personal opinion, if that is the case, what's the difference between misappropriation of funds and embezzlement of funds. Like, because listen, like if
somebody gonna
how our penal system treats people, like it's already systemic injustices. And I'm just saying, like, I mean,
need to go pay old buddy a visit, see what's like.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, I've seen people.
Keith Rogers, whatever, they got to pay him a visit.
Yeah.
Like, somebody got to pay him a visit and see, like, what was going on? What was you doing? Like, how would you come in the city and promise people stuff and do stuff, and then you out, he gone. Right. He probably won't ever come back to Rocky Mountain.
Again, here's the deal. Nobody works in isolation.
Yeah,
nobody works in isolation. So, but I'm just saying, I've known people to go to prison for 20 years for robbing a gas station for $200. And I certainly think that actions have consequences. But if we can put people under the jail for stealing $200 from a gas station, then the system should be no different than we make large misappropriation of dollars that impact an entire community.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm in my neighborhood, today, helping out with some older ladies in the neighborhood. That's the first thing. I mean, the first thing I woke up, Mo, who stole all the money? I said, I don't know. I don't know who stole all the money. Well, they need to go to jail. And you need to go up there and tell them that they need to go to jail. I said, Lord, they've been around. I mean, they've been in the neighborhood for 60 years. And
they probably ain't never seen nothing like it.
They ain't never seen it. I mean, she said it. She was like, we ain't never heard about nobody stealing that much money. What in the world they gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But that's just that's just the thing that they're gonna say. You know what I mean? They're gonna say it because it's they've been around forever. Right. You know what I mean? They don't be on Facebook. They don't know. The only thing they hearing is he say, she say, or something like that, something like this. You know what I mean? So they going up to the city council, the meetings, and they probably gonna let people have it.
Wow. Well, man, listen, I would encourage you to continue to amplify your voice, continue to be a voice, a reason for people. We are certainly a few minutes over our time. So I really appreciate Step 98.1 for the opportunity. But listen, I hope that, man, I have personally enjoyed just the conversation, just hearing you reflect back over your outstanding basketball career, having a chance to actually train you for 6 years, seeing you work so hard, seeing you grind hard, seeing you in one part of the world when your family was in another part of the world, man, like just seeing the sacrifices you made to be great. It wasn't easy.
Not at all.
Being in countries where you didn't even speak the language, man, like I saw you sacrifice it all to chase a dream. And that's the thing that I hope that young people, when you do come into contact with them and when they actually find out you were a basketball player, I hope that you'll continue to help them understand that sacrifice that not only it takes for basketball, but for everything. The sacrifice to have your business, to believe in your vision and to believe in yourself enough to say, like, I can do this. And then, of course, I mean, the other piece, the accountability piece, just understanding that, like, I mean, none of us are perfect. We all gonna make some mistakes, but being able to own up to those things that we have not done. But this has been incredible, man. Norfolk State made a great selection, inducting you in the Hall of Fame. I hate I couldn't be there that weekend, but I know it was just incredible for you. I'm going to be up there in about 2 weeks, and so I'll certainly find there's a mural of you up somewhere, right, in the gym. In the gym that will hopefully be there forever. Hopefully your kid will get to see it and understand the multitude of the moment. But in closing, if you could just close us out, maybe what's one thing, if you can combine our whole conversation around basketball, business, and ballots, like what would be a closeout message for any adult or any young person that might be listening tonight?
Taking accountability is very important. I mean, that's the simple, taking accountability in anything, in life, in anything. Like you said, people are going to make mistakes. You know what I mean? Everything is not going to be perfect, but be real enough and be man or woman enough to know that, accepting accountability, taking accountability, and, taking criticism from somebody.
Right. Well, man, listen, everybody, it has been absolutely real. I appreciate all of y'all for logging on tonight. Those of you that stuck with us. This has been Voices Unbound, a place where every voice finds its freedom. So shout out to my boy Mo. Y'all make sure y'all support him. Mo, we're gonna kind of make a pitch. I know you got your restaurant here in Rocky Mount, Mo and D's. Listen, it is just one of my absolute favorite places to go. If you need a if you want a place to just kind of chill and just relax, there's R&B Fridays. There's brunch on Sundays. I don't know if everybody has access to the Wi-Fi, but
Yeah.
oh, they do?
Yeah. They do.
Okay, because I know I had access before anybody else. But anyway, I go there, man. I get on my laptop, I get my work done, and I'm just chilling. But it's such a dope vibe, man. I mean, listen, I've seen people use it for book. I did my book signing there. We've had fraternity Founders Day events there. It's good food, birthday parties there. I've seen NFL players come and do releases. I've seen politicians, man. It's just such a dope place. So if you looking for a nice little place with a cool vibe, just to have a nice small event or large event, hit Mo up. You still got your party bus? I think I don't know if that's what it's actually called.
No.
Okay, all right. So what's your place in Raleigh?
Halftime Lounge.
Halftime Lounge in Raleigh. What's the location, Mo?
133 East Harvard Street, downtown Raleigh, right beside Marvel's Museum.
Right, awesome. So y'all make sure y'all, if you're in the Raleigh area, hit him up in Raleigh, man. He's doing some great things. I mean, that's two businesses, but I don't believe that it will end there. So I can't wait for him to build this gym and start training and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Well, listen, y'all, it's been real. Appreciate y'all logging on tonight. Make sure you guys join us back on next Wednesday, where we will be back with Voices Unbound with another episode where every voice finds its freedom. Everybody take care.
Tune in again next Wednesday for Voices Unbound with LaShawn Jenkins, where every voice finds its freedom.
All right, y'all, listen. For those of you that stuck with us on Facebook Live, I appreciate y'all sticking with us. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode with my boy, Mo Deloach. We've been locked in for a long time. So listen, hit him up, Mo and D's. In fact, you know what? First person to inbox me, man, listen, lunch on me at Mo and D's. So if you got my cell phone number, you can text me. Hit me up, man. Meet me at Mo and D's for lunch, maybe in the next couple of days. But listen, make sure you guys are continuing to take the message that he talked about, accountability. Show up, vote, get engaged, speak up, speak out. You ain't got to slander nobody, but just your presence really matters, right? But listen, it's been real. Mo, thanks for being on tonight. And you guys, listen, make sure you share this and tag somebody in the comments, all right? Have a great evening.